Hey everybody, we're out here today at one of our memorial plantings. As you can tell from the urn next to me, this is where we buried the remains of Jennifer's grandmother, Loni King. She was cremated and her family shipped us her remains, and in honor of her we planted a willow tree here. Every time Jennifer thought of her grandmother, one image that came to mind was of Grandma Willow from the Disney movies. And unfortunately, we had a really difficult time keeping a willow tree alive in this location because it doesn't generally stay wet here. We were having to keep the tree wet to try to keep it alive, and ultimately we failed. So rather than try to keep doing that, Jennifer has agreed to let me plant what is known as a Royal Empress Tree. It has other names as well, and I'll put the botanical name right here in the video for you as well. Now, this tree is known in areas as being a bit of an invasive, so don't just jump into this tree if you're not familiar with the amount of pruning and maintenance around the tree that it takes to keep this thing in check and to make it grow the way that all the beautiful pictures make it look like. So what we've done here is excavated a bit of the soil to make room for some fresh soil that we can add some compost to and some nutrients, and then we're going to plant this tree. Now, one special thing about the Royal Empress is not only how beautiful it is, but it is touted as the fastest growing tree on earth. So here we are with this short little trunk of a tree, but by the end of the year it should be much taller than myself, or even possibly myself with Jennifer on my shoulders. So make sure you check back later in the season. We'll keep you updated on just how fast this thing really does grow for us in this location. So this is a little disappointing. Remember, I told you this can be a bit of a invasive kind of plant. So it turns out that all the nursery really shipped us is this cutting, and then they just kept it moist in the burlap sack. So to boost our chances even more, I'm going to add a bit of rooting hormone around the bottom of this. And even though this is supposed to grow on its own just fine, for the amount of money I apparently spent for a twig, I don't want to risk it going bad and rotting out. So with some root hormone added to that, we're going to start backfilling the soil around it. Now, if this were any other planting, I would probably bring this soil back up another inch or two, but because of what this area is, I'm going to return the original soil back into this area and make sure that we retain why this is a memorial planting. One thing I should have told you about before is that we have had to prepare this area for this type of a tree. It has the potential of growing up to 40 feet in diameter, so 20 feet on any direction from the trunk. So we had to take down a few other trees to make sure not only that this gets good light, but that it can spread and grow the way that it is supposed to. As with any planting, we want to make sure we get this watered in real good, so we're going to give it a good soaking so that all that new soil we put in can get nice and wet and hopefully promote the new growth of those roots. Okay, with the weed barrier and the mulch in place, we think this is good to go. So now it's just a matter of standing back and watching. We're going to water this down again just a little bit, make sure the mulch is moist to help to hold in the moisture. But otherwise, we'll generally be leaving this alone and come back later to see just how much it has grown. Right now, it's not very tall at all, but this has the potential of growing up to 15 feet per year. So we'll see come the end of the season just how far it actually grows. We'd like to thank all of our Patreons for supporting us, making projects like this even possible. And we'd also like to say one more time how much we miss you, Grandma Loni, and we're always thinking about you. Thanks to all of you for watching our videos, and we will see you next time.